I've been given another video. I'll put the link to this one below. This guy is talking about the Gulf of Eden, and there's some big objects in that sea. I think they're calling that body of water. Um, and yeah, there's three well-formed, massive somethings out there, and there's warships around there, and we've got some crazy people that have a lot of money that could have been building shit down there that's now rising. These are really crazy people that are controlling those warships, and crazy people are like presidents, and they need an awful lot of security, like G20. And we're going to believe them. We're going to believe that they're up to something good. They're into creating illusions. They're into destroying somebody's mind so that they can put whatever images they want into somebody's mind and see whatever kind of images they can make other people see through manipulation and brainwashing and severe abuse. If you don't know what you can create through abuse, like the mind has the capability of creating amazing shit. So we have pyramids that we don't really understand. There's a lot of things in our world that we don't understand yet. And if there's pyramids, then chances are there's an awful lot of other things on our planet that we don't quite understand. Is it a time machine? Is it something that, goes from one planet to another, or, whatever these evil people want us to believe, whatever that shit is. I kind of doubt it, because you have to understand what time is, and any machine that makes you jump, like a warp zone, or it just doesn't make too much sense. Um, just trying to put the puzzle together of what's going on in the bigness and the smallness of our reality from a purely scientific level, right down to, quantum physics gets right down to thought and what thought creates and what is reality. And when you mix that in with the universal perspective, that everything that's in the smallness is also in the bigness, it just does not make any sense to travel within it, because it's all happening all at the same time. It's like these people don't have all of the answers yet. They're playing a game with only half the puzzle pieces. The fact that there's warships there says they don't know what the hell they're doing, because everything is loving, everything is peaceful. So if you don't look at it from that perspective, there's something wrong if you see any aspect of evil attached to it. So I question it. I question what somebody wants me to believe it is. I question the amount of power they think they have over me, not having as much information as them. I question what it is they choose to have me believe in something. The fear that they want me to have. I question everybody's motives of why they would want me to go down a negative path, because all of that is part of that same game. So there are, I think there are explanations to everything, and I think everything that is designed right now is like those pyramids. I think those pyramids were, personally, I think those big stones were moved because we ended up finding out what our powers are. That, I mean, Kreskin can bend spoons with his mind. I think crop circles, somebody on the planet is bending those with thought waves as well. If you understand thoughts and waves, there's also a machine out there that's starting to show you how you can bend objects, how you can move a wheelchair just with controlling your mind and your thought waves. There's not going to be a far leap between, the, eliminating the cord, that wire that makes things move with your thought, that you'd be able to move it yourself. So I think those big pyramid blocks were moved rather quickly from long distance because we found out how to move things with our minds, which is what we do on a very slow moving scale. We move objects with our thoughts. That you have a thought that has to get you know the hands. You want to make metal, you have to dig it out of the ground. So, but we're still moving that metal from the ground and transforming it into something else. That process takes time and an awful lot of energy. And I think once we learn our human abilities, that time frame to move objects with thought speeds up, and we can do an awful lot more. So I think those pyramids were like a way of protecting ourselves, because on a planetary scale, we are moving into something. All of the planets are lining up. It is solar flares are heating up. Other planets are seeing global changes. Earth, so this global warming is bullshit because it's more of a planetary thing. We are moving into a shift, which this Mayan calendar woke us up to. And I don't know whether we're going to pass this test or not. In the past, I don't think, even with the skills and the awareness that they had to be able to build these pyramids, they built these pyramids to be able to survive. From their comprehension, this is what they needed to survive whatever rift we were going through. Obviously, they didn't survive, if here we are today. Most of them got wiped out, few survived, and here we are again. We had to start off from the bottom and try to learn our skills again. And, evil is there to try and control it, because the only way you have power over somebody else is if you have more information over somebody else. So that's kind of the only thing that's going on with evil, is that somebody else has more information than you. Doesn't mean they have all of the information. They have more pieces of a puzzle than you, so they can manipulate you, so they can have more power than you. And that's sort of the same cycle that we've been going over and over and over and over again. And until we see that we only have power unitedly, equally, not with somebody at the top, but people at the bottom have the same amount of power at the top, then I think we'll get it. And we possibly will find better ways of surviving this transition, this thing that we're going to be going through. But I think those are, just, it's not an illusion. It is something real, but it's designed by either somebody in our distant past that obviously didn't work because we're here. We've repeated the same pattern. We have not evolved. If you knew what human capability is, then you'd see that we did not evolve at all. And there's questions that I think we came very, very close, but it's like we lost it and we had to relearn it all over again. And that's the evolution, is, don't buy into negative shit. Yes, be aware of it, but if somebody's making the suggestion for you to be fearful, question, why do you need to be fearful? Question why somebody wants you to go down any direction that isn't positive, that doesn't give you power. I think there's going to be this big alien, even the UN now has an alien ambassador, and it's like, that is the biggest friggin' joke. It seems to be another follow me down this path. These elites controlled the Bibles, they control everything that you are manipulated into believing. And you bet your bottom dollar behind these aliens is just some rich guy with a spaceship. There is a different dimension, but the dimension, they're not going to go back in time. They're not going to go back in their evolution. If something has evolved, things are different. They don't have spaceships, they travel differently. They sort of picture it as, Star Trek, where they're beaming me up. That's the kind of shit you need to be looking for, is something that you have never ever seen before on this planet. And a spaceship, unfortunately, is something we've seen on our planet. You'd have to design something completely different without metal. Anything that we've ever used, you know, the metal cannot be found on this planet. But as long as any aspect of anything alien is actually found on this planet, could have the potential to be built on this planet, then I question whether it comes from a different planet. But it is just part of the friggin' game that these elites are playing. And it's, question fear. Don't go into the fear path. Just be aware and know that you can beat them at their own game. Just gain more information than they have. Peace out.